Welcome back to Redacted Frequencies, the show that peels back the layers on the world you think you know. I'm your host, Cipher, and I have a question for you, Echo.
Oh boy. Okay, hit me.
Have you ever been in a situation, maybe browsing online or playing a game on your phone, and you look up and like an hour has passed and you have no idea where it went, and you just feel kind of gross and manipulated?
All the time. It's that feeling of, what just happened? I didn't even enjoy that, but I couldn't stop. It's like my brain was hijacked. Today, oh man, today we're talking about the masterclass in that exact feeling. We're diving into a world of flashing lights, constant noise, and some really, really deep psychological manipulation. It's so much deeper than just luck, isn't it? It's like every single aspect of the experience is engineered. It's not about giving you a good time. It's about extracting resources.
We're talking about casinos, but not just, the gambling. We're talking about the invisible architecture, the weaponized psychology that is specifically designed to hijack your brain, hook you, keep you playing, and, well, keep you losing. Engineered is the perfect word. And to really get it, to understand the fundamental mechanism that makes it all work, you have to start with the core of it all, the machine itself. And for that, we have to talk about a guy named B.F. Skinner.
Oh, the pigeon guy from Psych 101, the Skinner box guy. I remember him. Kind of a controversial figure, wasn't he? With all that, radical behaviorism stuff. Okay, so fixed ratio, that's like getting paid for every box you pack. It's predictable. You know exactly what you're getting for your effort.
Exactly. But Skinner discovered that the way you give the reward, the schedule, is way more important than the reward itself. There's a huge difference between giving a reward every time, which is a fixed ratio schedule, and giving it randomly.
Right, so it's just about rewards for actions, simple cause and effect. Do the thing, get the stuff.
The very same. And yeah, controversial is a mild way of putting it. But his work on what's called operant conditioning is, it's the absolute bedrock of the modern casino. The basic idea is that you can encourage behavior by rewarding it. You tell your dog to sit, it sits, you give it a treat. That's positive reinforcement. The dog is more likely to sit next time.
Perfect analogy. So Skinner, back in the 50s, did these experiments. He put a pigeon in a box with a lever. And on a fixed ratio schedule, every time the pigeon pecked the lever, it got a food pellet. Every single time.
And the pigeon figured it out, right? I do the thing, I get the food. But there's no urgency. It's predictable, almost boring. The pigeon would peck when it was hungry, and that's it.
Exactly. But then he switched to a variable ratio schedule. The magic trick. He made the reward unpredictable. Sometimes the pigeon would peck and get nothing. Sometimes it'd peck 10 times and get nothing. And then one peck, and it would get a whole bunch of pellets. It never knew. And what happened? The pigeons became obsessed. They would just pack and pack and pack relentlessly, compulsively.
Because they never knew when the next reward was coming. That's not like a slot machine. That is the literal psychological blueprint for a slot machine. You're a pigeon in a bigger, fancier box. You are the pigeon. It's the most addictive pattern known to psychology. But here's the crazy part, the real key to why it's so addictive. It's what's happening in your brain. Modern fMRI scans show us that the dopamine hit, the pleasure chemical, it isn't when you win.
Wait, what? It's not when you win. Then when is it?
It's released in anticipation of the win. That moment, the reels are spinning, the ball is rolling, the card is turning over. That is the high. Your brain is flooded with dopamine right then before the outcome is even known. So you're not chasing the win itself, You're chasing the feeling of almost winning. You're chasing the chase.
Wow. So the outcome almost doesn't matter. The machine is just a dopamine delivery device, and the fuel is uncertainty. You're addicted to the maybe. Wow. So the outcome almost doesn't matter. The machine is just a dopamine delivery device.
That's all it is. And then they layer on top of that, which brings us to the next point, the sensory overload.
Oh, yeah. The sounds. It's never quiet in a casino. It's this constant symphony of dings and chimes and celebratory music.
And none of it is accidental. Those sounds are all specifically chosen, often in the key of C, to be stimulating but not jarring. They're designed to make you feel like people all around you are winning, constantly. It creates this atmosphere of possibility.
And the lights, the motion, it's all feeding into that same reward system in your brain. But part of that sensory experience is another trick, isn't it? The near-miss illusion.
The near-miss illusion, yes. This is a huge one. This is when the slot machine shows a result that is so close to a big jackpot, like 2 cherries and then the third cherry just one space away.
Ugh, I hate that feeling. You think, oh my God, I almost had it. I have to go again, I'm so close.
And that's the trick. The machine is programmed by the manufacturer to produce those near-miss outcomes at regular intervals because they know, and again, brain scans prove this, that a near-miss is as neurologically stimulating as an actual win.
That's insane. So a loss literally feels like a win to your brain.
It tricks your brain into thinking you're practicing or that you're getting better, that you're due for a win, when in reality, every spin is totally independent and random.
Okay, so the machines themselves are psychological traps, but it's bigger than that. The whole building is a trap.
The whole building is a weapon. You're right, let's talk about casino architecture. First and most famous rule, no clocks, no windows.
Right. They don't want you to have any idea if it's 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning. They want you to lose all sense of the outside world.
It's called time distortion. You lose all your temporal cues. And combined with the constant stimulation, hours can feel like minutes. Have you ever noticed the layouts?
They're always like a labyrinth. They're deliberately confusing. If you want to get to the restroom or the exit or a restaurant, you can never just walk in a straight line.
Never. You're forced to walk past rows and rows of other slot machines, poker tables, bars. Every step is another opportunity for an impulsive bet. Constant exposure.
And it goes even deeper. I was reading that they carefully control the environment. The air conditioning is always set to a comfortable temperature, around 72 degrees. Some people even claim they pump extra oxygen into the air to keep you more alert.
That's a bit of a myth, the oxygen thing, but they absolutely use sense. Proprietary fragrance blends are engineered to evoke feelings of safety, comfort, even nostalgia. The whole point is to keep you in a state of low stress and mild stimulation where you're more likely to spend more money.
It's a behavioral trap. That's really what it is, a perfectly tuned human habitat designed for one thing.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of traps, there's a specific one within the games that is just, it's brilliantly evil. It's a phenomenon called losses disguised as wins.
Okay, I think I've heard of this. This is where you bet more than you get back, but the machine still celebrates, right?
Exactly. Modern multi-line slots let you bet on, say, 20 lines at once. So you bet $1, the reels spin, and you win on one of those lines for 50 cents.
So you've lost 50 cents.
Your rational brain knows you have lost 50 cents, but the machine goes off. Lights flash, celebratory music plays, animations go wild. It treats the outcome as a win.
And your emotional brain totally falls for it. It just hears the victory sounds and thinks, hey, winning is happening.
It completely exploits the discrepancy between cognitive and emotional processing. Over time, this completely confuses your perception of value and risk.
You can be steadily losing money, but you feel like you're having a winning session because of all that positive reinforcement. It's a way to balance apparent success with gradual financial depletion.
That is so messed up. You literally don't realize you're losing.
Which brings us to the last and maybe most personal trick: the comps and the psychology of reciprocity.
Ah, the free stuff, the free drinks, the free hotel room, the show tickets.
Nothing is free. Those aren't gifts. They're calculated investments. They are designed to trigger a very powerful human instinct: reciprocity. When someone gives you something of perceived value, you feel a deep subconscious need to give something back.
So the casino gives you a free $20 cocktail, and you feel obligated to reciprocate by putting another $100 into the machine.
Bingo. And the VIP programs amplify this. They create a sense of status and belonging. Once you identify as a preferred guest or a platinum member, your behavior starts to align with that identity. You feel pressure to maintain it.
And that's where the sunk cost fallacy comes in too, right? Like, I've already spent so much time and money to get to this level, I can't just walk away now. I have to get my money's worth.
You got it. And all the while, your loyalty card is tracking every single move you make. How long you play, what machines you like, how much you bet. Their analytics can predict when you're most likely to leave, and that's precisely when a host will swoop in with a personalized offer to lure you back. It's a meticulously engineered relationship.
They're not trying to be your friend. They're converting you into a long-term asset.
So, yeah, when you put it all together, it's a lot. A casino isn't just a place of chance. It's a psychological battleground where every detail, from the programming of the slots to the pattern on the carpet, is designed to outwit your brain's natural defenses.
It's fascinating and honestly really terrifying. It just shows that the odds aren't just mathematical, they're psychological too.
Absolutely. And speaking of the psychological architecture, we've talked about the labyrinth layout, but there's a specific term for that design philosophy. It's called the Gruen transfer. Completely. Which, speaking of terrifying, I think that's a good place to wrap this one up and talk about what's coming next.
It is! Next week on Redacted Frequencies, we are going deep, deep into the web to ask the question, red rooms on the dark web, fact or fiction?
Oof. Okay, yeah, and you're not going to want to miss that one. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. We really appreciate you being here.
Please, if you enjoyed the show, do us a huge favor and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a review, a comment, all that good stuff helps us out a ton.
And especially if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our dive into the digital abyss next week.
Until next time, I'm Echo.
And I'm Cipher. Stay vigilant.